In the 2 years since the 2016 NBA draft, we have seen many top picks on track to becoming superstar level stars in the NBA, while other top picks have fallen flat so far in their career and may become busts in the coming years. So in this video, we look at 5 players in the 2016 NBA draft that are most likely to be busts, their strengths and weaknesses, and discuss how their window of opportunity may be closing sooner than you think, and 5 players that are most likely to be busts in the 2016 NBA draft. With the 4th pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns selected Dragan Bender from Croatia. Bender impressed many as a teen in the 2014 U18 European Championship with 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. 2014, Bender signed a 7-year contract with the team that played in the Israeli Basketball Premier League and the EuroLeague. He would go on to play only 7 games in his first year in the EuroLeague, getting 10 minutes per game, recording 2 points and 1 rebound on 33% shooting from the field and 25% shooting from 3. In his second year, Bender got a little bit more time where he would play in 38 games with 3 starts, but only getting limited time of 12 minutes per game, recording 4 points and 2 rebounds while shooting 42% from the field and 33% from 3, before declaring for the 2016 NBA draft. Bender's noted strengths coming into the draft included his shooting touch and his defensive potential with his length, while his weaknesses included his strength, inside presence in the paint, and inconsistency shooting the ball handling, and playmaking ability. Even with his limited time in EuroLeague, Bender still showed that he had potential to become a viable asset to a team, as many touted him coming into the NBA as a more developed Porzingis, who was picked with the 4th pick just the year before, and surprised the world with his abilities both offensively and defensively. Kristaps Porzingis, who played 3 years in the Liga ACB as a team, played 92 total games internationally. His highest average would be in his 3rd year in the EuroLeague, averaging 11 points and 4 rebounds while playing 21 minutes per game. Porzingis would show flashes in his first Summer League game versus the San Antonio Spurs. In all total, Porzingis would average 10 points, 3 rebounds, and almost 2 blocks per game during his time in Summer League, on his way to 72 starts his rookie season, averaging 14 points, 7 rebounds, and almost 2 blocks per game. Bender, on the other hand, played only 43 games his rookie season with no starts, playing only 13 minutes per game, shooting 35% from the field, averaging only 3 points and 2 rebounds his rookie season, but showed some bright spots with a 13 rebound high, but only 1 double-double during his rookie year. This year, Bender has gotten a lot more opportunities his sophomore year, with 20 minutes per game, but is still only averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds and 1 assist per game, while shooting 38% from the field and 37% from 3. While Bender might not ever have the same opportunity to be able to reach that superstar level that Porzingis has developed into, he could pave a similar path to Toni Kukoc, a player who Bender is often also compared to. While there are clear differences between Kukoc and Bender, Kukoc never started a full 82 games in his career, averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists while shooting 33% from 3, with his highest average of 18 points and 7 rebounds, but played an important part as a stretch big shooter during the championship caliber teams in Chicago. This could very much be Bender's career, a quality shooter off the bench for a decent team. But Bender's window of opportunity may be closing sooner than you think, as the Phoenix Suns will have a team option on Bender's rookie contract for the 2019-2020 season, as the next 2 years of his contract will be worth $14 million. While Bender's salary numbers aren't big numbers for role players in the NBA today, the Suns may already have a cheaper, more talented option at the power forward position, such as Marquise Chriss, who makes only $9 million in the last 2 years of his contract. Bender may have even more opportunities next season with Tyson Chandler, an aging veteran center, coming off the books and becoming a free agent in 2019, and Alex Len, the 5th pick of the 2013 draft. He is also likely gone as well as a free agent in 2018 after his 5 years with the Suns. And then the Suns have Greg Monroe. The center traded from the Milwaukee Bucks a season ago has yet to be seen as a viable asset to the team, With lots of the Suns' big men likely to move on from the team in the next 2 seasons, the Suns need to find an interior presence to help out the Suns' already talented backcourt of Devin Booker and Josh Jackson, and the 2018 draft may be the perfect chance to do it, as the Suns will have 2 picks in the top 15 of the 2018 draft. They could draft one of the impressive college big men to improve their defense, such as Bamba, Wendell Carter, Kevin Knox, or Brandon McCoy, who all may have higher upside than Bender. These 2 picks, paired with their already offensively talented core, could speed up their winning process for the Suns. And if these prospects produce more than Bender did in his 2 years in the league, they could play a part in ending Bender's career with the Suns earlier than expected. It is very rare that a team would draft 2 busts in the same draft, but that might have been exactly what the Phoenix Suns did when they traded the 13th and 28th picks, as well as a future 2nd round pick and draft rights to Bogdan Bogdanovic to move up in the draft to the 8th pick to select the freshman out of Washington, Marquese Chriss. Chriss would finish his 1 year at Washington averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds, while shooting 53% from the field and 35% from 3. Coming into the draft, Chriss had a lot of potential strengths to bring to a team, such as being athletically gifted with an ability to explode at the rim and finish, rebounding ability, and defensive potential with his length, but was still raw offensively and had limited or no go-to post moves, and has been seen many times with lack of effort or proper footwork, which leads him to get into foul trouble easily. Chriss was one of the 3 draft choices selected by the Suns in the 2016 NBA draft. And during his rookie year, Chriss would start 75 games. He averaged 9 points and 4 rebounds while shooting 44% from the field and 32% from 3. He had a bunch of notable breakout potential games during his rookie season, such as a 19-point, 13-rebound performance and a loss to Portland, a 27-point career high, and 3 double-doubles. He just couldn't maintain his consistency on a poor team in Phoenix. This year, during his sophomore year, he averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds, less points than last year, and reportedly came into season out of shape, and is playing worse in 26 starts this season, with 38% shooting from the field and 28% shooting from 3, with a season high of 19 points. With new management moving into the Suns organization, it will be interesting to see how the organization addresses its power forward position going further. So far, it's clear to see the Suns gave up entirely too much for the 8th pick in this draft. While the 13th pick in the 2016 draft hasn't turned into much either, the 28th pick the Suns traded turned into Skal Labissiere, fell in the draft after his 1 year at Kentucky, averaging 6 points and 3 rebounds, but since then has turned into a quality starter for the Kings, putting up better numbers than Marquese Chriss today at 7 points and 4 rebounds while shooting 44% from 3-point range. While the Suns also gave up on Bogdan Bogdanovic, drafted 27th in the 2014 draft, has since turned into a sniper. Both players would have been better options than what Marquese Chriss is producing today. In recent weeks, we have seen Marquese Chriss pick up his production, mostly by using his athleticism to get better on the defensive end, and this is starting to reflect in his numbers and how we may be viewing him in the future. Marquese Chriss' career could pave a similar path to his current teammate Tyson Chandler. A highly recruited player out of high school, Chandler faced similar uncertainty as to what team he would be going to, as the Clippers selected him with the 2nd pick in the 2001 NBA draft. But he would be immediately traded on draft day to the Bulls. And while many would remember Kwame Brown as the huge bust in this draft, Chandler's career wouldn't start off that hot either, as Chandler wouldn't average a double-double in a season until his 6th season in the NBA, after he had already been traded from the Bulls. Very disappointing as a 2nd overall pick when the management had just traded a 20-point low post scorer in Elton Brand to the Clippers to acquire Chandler. Despite Chandler's early career struggles, he was still able to carve out his niche in the NBA as a defensive-minded specialist that could play a huge part in a championship-contending team, winning an NBA championship with the Dallas Mavericks and a Defensive Player of the Year award, proving that his game can still be viable. Chriss could walk in the footsteps of Chandler and become that defensive-minded specialist the Suns need in the future, and maybe even better, but that can only happen if he puts in the work to be great. With the 10th pick, the Milwaukee Bucks selected Thon Maker. This native, born in South Sudan, moved to Western Australia at the age of 5, but wasn't on many people's NBA radar until he came to America in 8th grade. Once in the United States, Maker attended 2 schools in Louisiana before finally settling down in Virginia. During his freshman and sophomore years playing at Carlisle's varsity team, he averaged 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks a game in high school, a remarkable amount of potential for a 15-year-old. To skip a year of college, Maker had to convince the NBA he graduated from Orangeville Prep in 2015. He successfully did so, proving he graduated from high school in June 2015, but stayed another year as a postgraduate student by his own choosing. While Maker had a ton of strengths coming into the draft, such as his incredible length, ability to run the floor and finish, ability to stretch the floor with his shooting, and potential scoring upside, there were still lots of question marks coming into the draft about Maker, such as his streaky shooting, incredibly skinny frame, ball handling and playmaking ability, and being able to score in the post against other 7-footers in the NBA. And the biggest one of them all coming into the draft was his age, as many were convinced Maker graduated high school in 2010, but then placed himself back into the 8th grade when he came into the United States. While much of this is still speculation, it could still hinder Maker's potential upside going further. Following getting drafted 10th by the Milwaukee Bucks, Maker showed flashes of his talents in the 2016 Las Vegas Summer League, where he started 5 games for the Bucks, averaging 14 points and 9 rebounds in 30 minutes per game, having one game where he secured 17 rebounds in one game and earned a spot on the All-Summer League second team. In all total, Maker would play 57 games during his rookie season, starting 34 of them, playing an average of 9 minutes per game, averaging 4 points and 2 rebounds on 37% shooting from 3 and 45% shooting from the field, scoring in double figures in 4 times and scoring 20 points once. The following year, entering his sophomore year in the NBA, Maker would play in the Las Vegas Summer League again, but this time it would be fairly disappointing, as in his first game versus the Cavaliers, Maker would only score 4 points on 1 of 8 shooting from the field, while also fouling out of the game, an underwhelming performance for a second-year player in the Summer League. This year, in his sophomore year in the NBA, Maker has gotten 8 starts, playing 18 minutes per game in 31 games, but is averaging 4 points and 3 rebounds while shooting 40% from the field and 29% from three-point range. Maker has found more opportunity following the trading of center Greg Monroe to the Suns, as Milwaukee's starting center John Henson has been the most consistent option, averaging 8 points and 6 rebounds while shooting 60% from the field, and is currently signed into the 2020 season. Maker may also find some more competition for minutes in the coming year from DJ Wilson, the power forward out of Michigan, was taken with the 17th pick in the 2017 draft, a big man with skills and reach that could play multiple positions. The Milwaukee Bucks are really regretting this pick when there was plenty of other quality project centers the Bucks could have drafted over him, such as Ivica Zubac, picked 32nd by the Lakers in the 2016 NBA draft, or Skal Labissiere from Kentucky, picked 28th. Or Bryce Johnson, the experienced Tar Heel, went 25th. Then picked right behind Maker was Sabonis. The Lithuanian shooting big, picked 11th, has found his way from being traded twice to becoming a viable role player for the Indiana Pacers, averaging 11 points and 8 rebounds while shooting 53% from the field and 38% from 3. Quite a difference so far than Maker. The Bucks might still pick up his option after his junior season in the NBA. That is, if he can pick up his production and prove on the court he is worth top pick NBA money.
Remember that Thon Maker for the rest of his career. Wow.
With the 13th pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns selected Giorgio Papagiannis, but as mentioned earlier, this pick would get packaged in a draft day trade to the Sacramento Kings. This top prospect from Greece played 4 years in the EuroLeague, playing limited time as a teen, but got most of his time in the 2015-2016 season, averaging 5 points, 2 rebounds while shooting 63% from the field. A projected second-round project pick for many teams in the 2016 NBA draft, the Kings drafted him instead with the 13th pick. Papagiannis had many strengths coming into the draft, such as his incredible size at 7'1", 240 pounds, his defensive potential, and soft touch around the rim. But he still had a small sample size of being able to dominate in the NBA, and was considered a raw and unfinished product, and may have issues with his conditioning and weight. Papagiannis would get limited playing time his rookie season, with only 22 games played, with an average of 16 minutes per game, averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds while shooting 54% from the field. He still gets limited minutes this season, with only 6 minutes played so far, but only recording 3 points and 2 rebounds while shooting 71% from the field. Papagiannis has shown a lot more of his promise in the Kings G League in the 2017-2018 season, averaging 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks per game while shooting 53% from the field. But how much more playing time will Papagiannis get in the actual Kings team in years to come, with other proven veterans on the team now, and the development of now starting center Willie Cauley-Stein into the franchise centerpiece going further, and other centers the Kings signed such as Costa Koufis, Jack Cooley, and interesting center prospects the Kings drafted at the center positions such as Harry Giles and Skal Labissiere. He will be constantly fighting for playing time in this situation, even if he does show potential. With the 17th pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies selected Wade Baldwin IV. Baldwin spent 2 seasons at Vanderbilt with 24 starts his freshman year, averaging 9 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds on 43% shooting from the field and 43% from 3. In his second season, Baldwin took up more leadership in his 30 starts, recording 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, while shooting 40% from three-point range. Even with a 9-14 record, the Commodores still made the tournament as an 11th seed, where they lost to Wichita State in the first round. Baldwin had many strengths coming into the 2016 NBA draft, such as his size at the point guard position at 6'4", with an ability to have multiple offensive skill sets off of pick and rolls, but still had an abundance of weaknesses coming into the draft, such as his decision making, consistency shooting from deep, and consistency on defense, but found himself in a good opportunity in Memphis, as Mike Conley, the current Grizzlies star point guard, is often injured. So Baldwin should find some time to show his potential, as other potential backups for Memphis at the point guard position included Mario Chalmers, Andrew Harrison, and Nick Clashes, who all average under 10 points per game and are replaceable options. But in his rookie season, Baldwin would earn only 1 start in 33 games, recording 3 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist, while shooting 31% from the field and 13% from three-point range. Baldwin just hadn't shown that he could be a more consistent option than the other backup point guards the Grizzlies possess. The Grizzlies chose to waive Baldwin prior to the start of the 2017-2018 season, sending him into free agency in just his second season in the NBA. Baldwin has still found an opportunity in the NBA as he is signed with the Blazers G League team, but even with the Blazers, Baldwin will still have to fight his way into a backup point guard role, as Shabazz Napier has proven to be a quality backup to their star point guard Damian Lillard. This pick was rather risky for Memphis, as there was definitely players with higher upside and more proven college prospect point guards to choose over Baldwin, such as DeJounte Murray, picked 29th, spent 1 year at Washington, averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists while shooting 41% from the field, and is now a quality backup with the San Antonio Spurs, while learning with proven champion veterans Patty Mills and Tony Parker, recording 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in 35 games played so far this season. At 6'5", Murray was also a large guard that would have fit the backup point guard role Memphis was looking for, but the Grizzlies passed on even more players that had more experience, such as Tyler Ulis, picked in the 2nd round with the 34th pick, and he filled up the stat sheets in his sophomore year at Kentucky with 17 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds, and had much better numbers than Baldwin as a 5'9" point guard in the SEC Conference, and has shown that size doesn't affect a player getting buckets in the NBA, as he averages 7 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds and 23 starts in his backup point guard role for the Suns. Or Michael Brogdon, who was an even more proven player in college basketball, winning ACC Player of the Year in his senior year in college with scoring averages of 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, while shooting 39% from the three-point land and 45% from the field. As we all know, Brogdon went on to win Rookie of the Year in 2017, yet was picked in the 2nd round with the 36th pick and is now averaging 13 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds, making the most of his opportunity. All these point guards would have been quality backup point guard options for Memphis, yet they passed on all of them for Baldwin, who wasn't even given a year on Memphis to prove that he could be a viable option and will have to fight his way through the G League to earn a contract in the NBA. While this list is scheduled to change in the coming years, who do you think will be a bust in the 2016 NBA Draft? Leave it in the comments section below, but until then, it's been your boy, Johnny Walker LA, and I'm out. Bow!